let's catch up and then watch a Harris Walls video. It's been probably a week or so since I last uploaded a video. That video was me just complaining about JLab stuff. It wasn't the most serious thing in the world. And we're not going to do anything super serious today either. There's a new video from the Harris Walls campaign called Kamala Harris and Tim Walz on Tacos, Music and the Future of America. I don't think this is going to be a hard-hitting piece. I don't think we're going to get any new real info about what their policy positions are or anything like that. I think this is going to be a humanizing thing. I haven't watched it yet. We're just going to blind react to it. But there's a couple things I want to go over first. We haven't really talked that much about Harris and Walz. Obviously, on Team Harris because, the alternative is horrific. But I think Harris has some progressive ideas. At the end of the day, the Harris Walz ticket is a moderate ticket, which is as left as we're probably ever going to get for mainline Democrat candidates. At least Walz is a little bit more progressive in some of the stances that he's taken as far as protecting access to abortion and providing sanitary products in school bathrooms and providing school lunches and just basic stuff like that. That's really the bread and butter of what it means to be a governor that actually cares about the people in your state. And obviously he's got a lot of charisma. He is a high energy guy. I think he complements Harris really well. I'm very happy to see how much excitement there is in the Democrat Party, even just in the last few weeks since Biden stepped down. It has been a hell of 3 weeks, probably 3 weeks since Biden stepped down. It feels like it's been so long, but all of this is just happening so fast. The Harris Walz ticket's generating a lot of buzz, and it feels even more energetic because at the same time that they are going to rallies and getting people fired up, the Trump-Vance ticket it's floundering. I mean, there's no excitement for Trump and Vance. Republicans don't even like Vance. Trump is... He's done a couple of these weird press conferences from his properties. He did one a few days ago from Mar-a-Lago, and he did one just today from Bedminster. And I listened to the whole one from Mar-a-Lago, and I only got to listen to a little bit of the one from today from Bedminster. He is so tired. That's the best way I can describe Donald Trump right now is he is just exhausted. He does not have that spark that propelled him to the White House in the first place. Like, he's got all the same rhetoric that he ran on before, but it's just there's no fire there. He's low. He's obviously he needs a vacation. I think it's just everything finally catching up to him, having to attend all these trials, all of the judgments against him, and then trying to campaign, and then the RNC picking Vance and all of that backfiring, and then having to deal with pivoting away from a campaign where you're fighting against Joe Biden, who basically doesn't exist, to a very young, energetic candidate. I can't imagine. I don't. It's not like I like the guy, but I feel for him. He's dealing with a lot right now, and I don't know. Maybe he'll bounce back, but if he continues like this with he used to call Jeb Bush low energy Jeb, and he's just low energy Don right now. I'm not gonna say it's sad to see because I want him to lose, but he's not bringing the heat right now, and Vance cannot carry the ticket. It's actually made me really start to question who's going to be on that ticket in 28. Whether Trump wins or not, I cannot imagine that he's going to run for president again. If he survives until 2028, I just can't imagine that he's going to have the spark, the joie de vivre to go through this again. And there is no one. There's no one. The whole campaign has been so focused. I mean, not the campaign, the whole party has been so focused on Trump for so long, and he sucks all the oxygen out of the room. No other candidate has gotten any time to shine in the last 8 years. I mean, for a while it looked like maybe Lauren Boebert or Marjorie Taylor Greene might have like a moment, and an ascendant career, despite being who they are. But their popularity even has just taken a nosedive. They're barely holding on to their seats. It's not like Ted Cruz is going to win. I think we're going to see somebody, some relative unknown Democrat come out of the woodwork in the next few years and rise to prominence. I don't know who it's going to be. I still think Ron DeSantis doesn't have the charisma. He's not going to be able to solidify the party behind him, and I don't know. He's the only other one that even occurs in my mind as a potential, and I don't think it's a possibility. So it's going to be interesting to see who emerges as the Republican challenger in 28. Because whether or not Trump wins, it's going to be someone else on the ticket. It has to be. So, we'll see how that goes. That's just something I've been thinking about lately. Like, who's a rising star in the Republican Party, and Trump doesn't allow rising stars. So, we'll see. But that's kind of not the point of this video. I know that it's, like I said, it's been a while since I uploaded anything, and part of the problem is it's hard for me to decide what I want to do a video on. There's lots of political topics and stuff I want to talk about, but I know that there's a lot of other channels that cover all of this kind of stuff and do it in detail and do a really good job. And I haven't really built myself as like a news channel or anything like that. I don't want that pressure, One thing I'm thinking about starting is like maybe a twice a week, just a very casual political show. I'm workshopping the name The Beacon right now. The Beacon, your online cultural digest, or something like that. And it would just be kind of a roundup of some of the stories that are most interesting to me that I think have import in society. But I'm still thinking about that. If I do that, I would probably want to do like a Friday night to cover the previous week's news, and maybe like a Monday or a Tuesday to kind of recap what happened on the weekend. If there's any interest in that, let me know. Because I like doing these videos. I like doing long form stuff and kind of just talking. Obviously, I'm a very long-winded person. This has gone 10 minutes, and I haven't even got into what I want to talk about so far. But today we are going to watch this video, and it's propaganda. It's liberal propaganda. It's not going to be hard hitting, and it's not going to appeal to our leftist sensibilities. I'm gonna pretty much guarantee that. So we are going to uncritically enjoy this propaganda. We're gonna turn off our left brains, and we're gonna be liberals for just a few minutes and just enjoy this video. And I'm hoping that there is some content in it. I'm hoping there is some realness. And it's not just a total cringe fest of two old people dropping pop culture references. I do hope Tim Walz and or Kamala Harris dabs at some point, but I doubt we're going to get that. But we're going to watch this, and I will cut in when I need to, but let's get into that.
I talk about it being halftime in America. We're a touchdown down, and I kind of like the idea of being a little bit behind.
Well, I'm looking at Coach Walz right now. I'm looking at Coach Walz.
I do want to say before we get too far into it, full transparency, there have been a few times when I've been listening to Walz talk and I have gotten choked up. He has a very impactful story, especially when he starts talking about his family. He has a way of speaking that's it feels very authentic, and I am at a point in my life where I am kind of an emotional wreck about everything, and I cry a lot. So if I cry and you see me getting upset, like getting teary-eyed over this video, no, you didn't.
Like I have white guy tacos and
What is
like
that,
black,
like mayonnaise and tuna? What are you doing?
pretty much ground beef and cheese.
That's
and,
okay. Do you put any flavor in it?
No.
Oh.
Here's the deal. No, they said to be careful and let her know this, that black pepper is the top of the spice level in Minnesota, you know?
Yeah, so white people tacos is a huge thing in the Midwest, and it's store-bought. You can either do store-bought hard shells or flour tortillas, and then it's ground beef and shredded cheese from a bag, and you can do some tomatoes or some salsa, some lettuce, sour cream. And usually, you season the ground beef, but you season it with store-bought taco seasoning. So it's pretty much the whitest thing you can imagine. If you've never had it, it's not bad. It's just, I think the struggle comes in calling it tacos, because they're not tacos.
I'm the first vice president, I believe, who has ever grown chili peppers.
I'm trying to expand my food knowledge.
We've got some cantaloupes. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, I
I was
called you,
hoping
Tim.
maybe we wouldn't have to.
I called you, Tim.
Yes.
You didn't answer, Tim.
I know.
What happened?
The most important call of my life. It popped up, and we didn't recognize the caller ID, and it went to voicemail.
Hi, this is Tim. I'm not able to answer.
There you go.
That's perfect. Nobody answers the phone. She should have just emailed him.
Possible. Thank you.
Hey, Tim, it's Kamala. I really want to talk to you.
It is an amazing privilege for me. Also, I'm excited. I just want to be part of the excitement that you're generating.
Well, we're doing it together, buddy.
It's fun.
We're doing it together. How have these last couple of days been for you?
I can see where the energy comes. America is a hopeful country.
Indeed.
People are excited.
In every one of those groups of thousands, sometimes over 10,000 people, you've seen exactly who we are as America.
Yeah.
People from rural areas, urban areas, of every stripe and size and background. This is who we are as America, and we're all in it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a huge point, because the juxtaposition of the Harris-Walz ticket really bringing together, urban and suburban and rural people in a way that they tried to do with J.D. Vance, but he's a venture capitalist. He's not a small town boy, you know, and he does not have Midwest bona fides that a Tim Walz has, no matter how much they try. And he's also a charisma vacuum, unlike Tim Walz. So this is a ticket that, just like they said, it really does, it brings people together from multiple strata instead of just angry white people and very, very rich people, which is the Trump camp.
And in this campaign, the only way we win is to keep the pedal to the metal for these next many, many days that we have. So, Tim, what's your relationship to music?
Yeah. For me, the transformational piece of music was Bruce Springsteen's The River, which is a journey. You know all the tracks, and I'm that guy. My first car, it's the summer 1980, been saving up. I buy a 1973 orange Chevy Camaro, got an 8-track player in it.
Oh, wow.
Previous owner left Bob Seger's Night Moves in there. I listened to it, and it's kind of the soundtrack of my life of Detroit's own Bob Seger. But what's really great about this is I have a 79 International as my car. It's got an 8-track player in it. I have the very 8-track to this day.
You're kidding me.
No, but how about you?
I grew up, so...
That's such a crazy thing to say. Like, that's so cool. Like, I don't know anything about Bob Seger's music, but I'm trying to imagine Donald Trump and J.D. Vance sitting together like this, even scripted, and feeling like there was an authenticity. And I don't know. I'd like to see it.
So all these albums here, Aretha, my mother had every Aretha album, and like our Christmas gift to my mother, her birthday gift was always like, what's the latest Aretha Franklin record?
So it's on vinyl in your house as a
all of it.
Wow.
All that and Stevie. And then Miles, and my dad loved jazz, and so it was Miles, it was Coltrane. One of my personal favorite musicians for when I was younger was Prince. Oh. And of course from your estate. And he, in fact, I'll tell you, so my husband Doug and I'm more of a hip-hop girl. Yep. He's more of Depeche Mode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but at the same time.
I'm sure you like the same music.
Of course.
But Prince, in the Venn diagram of things, Prince, he and I love the same, because, talk about how Prince was with that guitar, man. I almost know by heart every one of those songs.
I feel like a trip to Paisley Park is going to happen here if the staff
it's on my bucket list, I'll tell you that. Tell me about your dad and his influence on you. Yeah. He served our country. You have served for our country for so many years. Yeah.
I was 19. My little brother, I think, was eight or nine when he passed. He was a chain smoker. Just addicted. They got a bit Korean War era, and that generation of men pretty stoic. After he died, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. She became our rock, and now she had to go out and get work because the medical bills broke her, and Social Security. And Social Security survivor benefits. We're fine pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps. We had no boots. Mm-hmm. That's the boots.
And it's survival,
we paid
literally.
It back. It is survival. We all paid it back. So programs that are just fundamental to keeping people from dropping into poverty, but to live with dignity. You keep talking about that.
We got to help people get through a hard time. We can't have a country and policies that let people fall through the cracks. Yeah. I love what you have done with your life. You were coaching a high school football team that was winless.
Yes.
And you came in, and so they were clearly the underdogs. And what happened?
Yeah, it's a team, and I had great coaches with me, and we were friends, and we buckled down. And look, I was a fairly big school, but nobody wanted to play because they hadn't won. And this group of coaches said, first and foremost, we gotta build the team. We gotta go out and find people. So we invited them in, and I'll be honest, the first year, we did not score a touchdown until the last game of the year. We got shut out in every game. My high score until the final game was my defensive tackle because we got a safety in one game. 2 years later, those kids won a state championship. That school has won several more since then after we left. You build culture. You build winning. Right. People want to be a part of it. And that's the excitement. That's the excitement of what it can be.
That's how I feel about our campaign.
Yeah.
Our campaign is the underdog campaign.
Oh, yeah.
And with our joy, we also have to understand that we're still up against some forces.
Yes.
That are trying to divide our country. It pains me the kind of division and the stoking of divisions that has taken place,
yes.
right? And when we can remind people and create a space for everyone to come where they see each other and say,
magic.
Hey, we're all in this together.
It almost feels like everybody's coming out of their house after a blizzard and, a Minnesota reference, and you shovel out, and then you start talking to your neighbors.
Yeah.
How was it the last couple days or whatever it might be? They're re-energizing, and they're looking for their neighbors. We keep saying, keep talking about the promise of America, and we say, take care of your neighbor.
In the face of a stranger, when you're looking in the face of a stranger, you should see a neighbor, right?
Yeah. I'm about crying on this when you talk about, look, a girl from Oakland, California, and a guy from out in Nebraska on there. And the number of people I watch just kind of nod and break into a smile. This exploiting the differences, it can't last. I talk about it being halftime in America. We're a touchdown down because a lot of folks, it's easier to tear things down. It's easier to divide than it is to build. But once you start that momentum, once we come out and where we're at right now, people want to be part of something that's winning. They want to be part of something that's good, and they want to be part of something that everybody can be a part of. And I kind of like the idea of being a little bit behind.
Well, I'm looking at Coach Walls right now. I'm looking at Coach Walls.
Did you always know you wanted to be an attorney?
My parents met when they were active in the civil rights movement. I grew up around a bunch of people that were, marching and shouting for justice. And some of the heroes of that movement were the lawyers, Thurgood Marshall, right? They understood how to translate the passion from the streets to the courtrooms of our country. And they believed in the Constitution of the United States and the principles upon which it was founded. And that's where they then, in the courts of America, reminded us of the promise, right? And the ideals of our country, including equality, freedom, right? That's why I went to law school. But the other reason is when I was in high school, my best friend, I learned, was being molested by her stepfather. And when I realized what was happening, I told her, you have to come live with us. I called my mom. I have to tell you, Tim, it was the first time that I realized how not everyone can take their safety for granted.
Yeah.
And what we should all feel is a sense of responsibility to protect people from harm.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided I want to be a prosecutor.
Wow.
And as a prosecutor, I prosecuted homicide cases. I prosecuted a number of different types of cases, but I specialized in child sexual assault cases. And one of the things I did was create a whole unit dedicated to focusing on children who are being abused and to ensure that they have dignity in the process and justice. There's so much work that we still have to do to make sure that children have a voice.
For me, that's kind of with me. Get in as a teacher. It's about the kids and wherever you teach.
Right.
Once I had my own children, it became so clear to me, and I think it made me a really good teacher.
Yeah.
That child who came through the door was somebody's most special thing in their life.
Absolutely.
Thinking of a parent dressing their little one up and sending them off to school so proud of them, I wanted to come through that door and just lift them up, that sense of service. It's interesting, two different parts of the country, two different lived experiences, but all coming to that same goal of everybody getting a fair shot.
Well, I have to tell you, Tim, even though you and I grew up in different parts of the country, you remind me of the people I grew up with. Hardworking folks, plain speaking.
Yeah.
People who know the difference between right and wrong.
Yep.
And care, love thy neighbor in the most authentic and true way.
Yeah.
Those are the folks I grew up with, and I know that's who you are, and I'm so glad we're doing this together.
I'm proud to be with you.
So that was basically what I expected it to be. No hard-hitting policy. No, none of that. And there's a time and a place for all that. I think that was really good. I don't know that it's going to change minds or anything. But for the people that see it, for the people to see it. I think it is really good. It gives an opportunity to hear both of them in a conversational setting, really just talking about themselves. And that's something we don't get too much in politics. But all legitimate critiques of them come from the left. The right has nothing. They want to talk about Tim Walz providing sanitary products and giving kids school lunches. Like, that's such a crazy thing. But no, I mean, it's Harris Walz all the way. A month ago, we were all kind of just, we're going to vote for Biden, but we don't really want to. And now there is legitimate enthusiasm. And it's not because I think Harris is perfect. It's not because I think Tim Walz is perfect. But they are an energizing party. I think that they will push the party, the apparatus of the Democratic Party to the left. And I'm excited for that future, where we have a person in the highest office that is ostensibly at least left of Joe Biden. I think it was really good. I have my complaints about Harris and Walz, but all the legitimate critiques of them come from the left. The right wing has nothing to pin on them. They don't know how to attack these guys, and it's becoming increasingly obvious. And we just have to keep the pressure on. It's stuff like this just humanizing stuff, that is going to undo the Republicans. They have nothing, and it's so great to see. So that's it. I just wanted to go over this video and give you guys a chance to see it. It's got about 500,000 views over the last 5 hours, which is not bad. And obviously, I'm not signal boosting it with the 6 or 7 views that I'm going to get on this video. But in case any of you didn't get a chance to see it, and I was going to watch it anyway, so might as well talk to you guys about it. I'm going to stop rambling and let you guys go, and I will see you in a couple of days. Take it easy, but take it.